Hi, hello everyone, this is Mania Lord of Insanity here, and I'm gonna tell y'all how to make a good Fantastic Four movie. Because we all know they don't have a good run. You know, with the first one being comedically bad, so God, it's good, it's funny. And then the second one, I actually kind of didn't hate too much, but you know, it's still hated by a lot of people, and really wasn't a good film, but it was not that bad. And then the newest one being horrible. And not even so bad it's good. It's just horrible, boring, blah. Well, if you are still here, that's a good thing. I Now I got this idea from Belated Media. I think that's it. Belated Media. With if Star Wars Episode 1 were good, Star Wars Episode 2 and Episode 3, and you know, the prequel trilogy, if they were good. That's how I got this idea for the Fantastic Four movies, because Fantastic Four also don't make good films. Now, Fox, if you still have the films, I hope that this may actually help you make a good one next time, because you already had 3 failed attempts. But if another studio gets it, it's good. They can try and actually make a good film. They may do good. You know, they may not use my method, but you know, it'd be awesome if they do. Now, I really do think the idea of the interdimensional portal, I really like that idea. I think it would work to make a good Fantastic Four movie. And I think the idea of Ben Grimm and Reed Richards being friends and working together to build that is also a great idea. Except we don't have to go back all the way to where they were little kids. That was like way unneeded in the newest Fantastic Four film. Now it's instead, let's go and start at a high school play. Let's start with Reed Richards is well known amongst like the college community. So a lot of colleges are looking at him because they want him. He's been shown to be the top of his class and the top of America, the nation. He'd even go as far as saying he's the top of the world, because in the comics he's considered the smartest man in the world. But we don't have to go that far into it yet. We can say that for a sequel where he's caught that. Now, yeah. Now the Ben Grimm and then Reed Richards, they worked on the interdimensional portal, and they got a miniature version working where they can send objects to and from it. Now somehow Dr. Doom gets wind of it. Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom, he gets wind of it. He has been working on trying to build that same exact thing. And so now he wants Reed to work for him, because he got one to work for smaller little vehicles. So, let's say he meets Reed and then they have like they talk, dialogue. Not my strongest suit. But basically, Victor offers Reed scholarships, saying that, or not just scholarships, that he'll pay for any college that Reed wants to go to. Like all the money, he'll give Reed, he'll pay Reed, he'll do whatever to get Reed to work for Victor to build a large working machine. And then after a while, Victor convinces Reed to do that. So Reed goes to wherever Victor is, like this building, giant building, and then he starts working for Victor Von Doom. And he doesn't, and during this time, while he's working for Victor Von Doom, like, okay, well, in the previous scenes, with Reed Richards and Ben Grimm, they were working together. We see friendship between them two. But then out during this time, we start to see a little bit of a bond between Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom. A little bit of a small type of bond. You know, it's just a little bond. Like maybe not exactly a complete full friendship, but respect for each other. instead of how they did, instead of how they've done it in all the other films. They actually respected each other. Well, in the oldest one, they kind of did respect each other before the. But that one was laughably bad. I think it's 1984 and Fantastic Four. You gotta see that one. I think it's on YouTube still. It's funny. You gotta see it. It's not a good film, but it's funny. Okay, I was getting sidetracked. So, getting back onto topic. So Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards are kind of growing a bond, and also during this time we find out that Sue Storm is also working for Victor Von Doom, and then they seem to grow a little bit of a bond. Now, this film, if it's good enough, it will receive sequels. So I don't think we need to have a Reed Richards and Sue Storm have a complete full-blown relationship yet. Like, this is the origin story. We don't need everything just yet. We can have that in the sequel. But this one's going to be good, so it's going to spawn a sequel. Well, the other one that wasn't exactly good, but, wasn't horrible, also spawned a sequel. The one with Chris Evans. But, this one will also spawn a sequel, so. I'm glowing. And now. And now, after a while, Reed Richards gets the portal built. But we don't have to, actually have a while in the film. This could still be the first act, because, I'm glowing again. Because, I am a glowing monster. Because, it's the first act. We want to get we want to see their superpowers. Even though it's an origin story, we still want to see their powers and them using it in action. Which is what's people complain about in all the other films. The lack of action and them using the superpowers. Now, Reed Richards gets the machine built. He calls Ben Grimm over because that's what friends do. They celebrate together after something big happens. They had a successful test where a living organism was able to come through and come back. Right? And so they were celebrating, and then they were catching up a little bit. They haven't seen each other in a little bit. And then Sue Storm calls her brother Johnny Storm over, and then they talk, and they celebrate a little. They celebrate together because they're family. They celebrate together, and then during the celebration, Victor Von Doom gets impatient and decides to turn a portal on himself, and he went through it. Richard and the four, well, technically Richard and the three, because together they are the four, realize what happened. Ben Grimm Reed Richards goes in to stop him because he kind of grew a bond with Dr. Doom, or Victor Von Doom. Ben Grimm goes after Reed Richards to help him because they're friends. Johnny Storm sees that as a venture, goes in there. Sue Storm goes after her brother. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. It's going to be different. It's definitely going to be different than all the other films. Because this one, Victor Von Doom, is going to be a bit closer to the comics than the other films have done it. And I think it's going to make a better film. And I honestly think fans will like it a lot better. Inside the portal, we find out that it was what the entire time it was a portal to hell. Reed Richards just didn't know it. He was just trying to make a portal to a place, didn't know where he was going. Dr. Doom was trying to make a portal to hell to do something, but we don't know why yet. But we kind of learn inside the portal, so I probably should not have said that. You find out why inside the portal. Reed Richards finds Doom along with the other three, and then they're trying to tell him to come back through the portal. They're trying to tell him to come back to the portal, saying it's too dangerous. Because it is. They're in the portal to hell. And honestly, I don't doesn't matter if you believe in hell or not. This is a part of Doom's history. This is what made Victor Von Doom Victor Von Doom. This is what made him a good villain. Now he went to hell, and they're trying to convince him, but Victor Von Doom is not going to leave without his mother. He wanted to create a portal to hell to save his mother, just like in the comics. Now, during this time, Victor Von Doom starts going, but everyone else decides that they want to leave. Now, everyone wants to leave. Now, everyone is heading outside the portal. They get out of it. And then after they're out of it, they decided to shut it. Well, Sue Storm and Johnny Storm decided to shut it, but Ben Grimm and Reed Richards say no because Victor's still in there. I'm okay. It's kind of fell. I'm okay though. Now, they want to shut it, but Ben Grimm, being the nice guy that he is, he's a good guy, doesn't want to shut it on Victor Von Doom, and Reed Richards grew a bond with Victor Von Doom, so he doesn't want to shut it either. They want to give them time. And after maybe some time passes, a woman comes out, which we can assume is Victor Von Doom's mother. And now after finding out that it's Victor's mom, and we know that she's safe, the portal starts to go unstable. And then during this time, Grimm, not liking it, is starting to suggest the idea of shutting the portal, but Reed Richards still refusing, saying to keep it open because he knows Victor will make it. And just as Victor gets out of the portal blows up, kind of like in the comics. Victor Von Doom tried to build the machine, and it kind of blew up in his face the first time, and he didn't succeed. But later on, he built the machine and saved his mom. More comic book parallels, but it's not exactly the same. Changing it a bit for movie purposes, because we don't have enough time to see him. Well, unless we make a pure Victor Von Doom movie, which we could do. You hear that, folks? We can do a Victor Von Doom movie. That's like a prequel before the Fantastic Four. Hear that? When the machine blew up, Victor Von Doom's mom and Victor both used magic to protect themselves, because they can use magic like in the comics. It's not in the older ones where he really doesn't do anything, and then in the second newer ones he gets lightning abilities and becomes metal, and in the third one he touches goo and gets psychic abilities to blow up brains and throw people across the room. He actually uses magic, which is also from the comics. Doesn't matter if you believe it or not, it's a part of Victor Von Doom. Now, Victor's magic shield didn't protect him 100%, and he gets a teeny little scar on his face, and then he's horrified. He takes his mom, and they both run to Liberia. And then, so, to show her that when we get there, we find out that they can use magic. You find out that the mom was a witch that sold her soul to the devil. Well, we don't have to learn that. That could be, we could learn that, or not. That could be in there, or it couldn't be in there. I'm not exactly 100% sure how important that fact is. I know this is bad video quality, but I don't have good stuff right now, and I am outside. Probably be better for inside, but no. If I was inside, I could not glow and radiate. Now that we know, we learned there as well that Victor Von Doom is the leader of Latveria. He's a dictator. And then Victor Von Doom starts to build his suit for himself in order to hide his face. During this time, the four decide that they want to be heroes, use their powers for good. Although they're not entirely accepted at first, with Ben Grimm getting the most hate and him getting frustrated because he's basically the one who people hate the most because he causes property damage the most. Well, Johnny Storm does some property damage as well, but he has his Johnny Storm charm, which I obviously have right here. You know, with my radiating glow. I'm going to keep saying that throughout this video. So, just go with the flow. Okay. I know this is a bad video. If this video gets popular enough and I can actually get equipment, I can redo this video to where it's a lot better. Because honestly, I really do think Fantastic Four could be a good film, and I really do think I have good ideas for it. But I'm kind of getting too distracted throughout this video, and it's probably just going to be y'all laughing at me getting distracted too much instead of y'all focusing on how to make an actual good film. Back on track again. I don't know how many times we got lost. Good luck at playing. Next. I'm trying to remember where we left off. Oh yeah, we found out that he's the leader. No, we're at the part where... Okay, yeah. He causes property damage. And then during this time, Victor Von Doom, after he built his suit, he built a machine to look into the future because, you know, why not? That happened in the comics. And he sees that the future is horrible, and then he comes to the conclusion that the only way to save the future is if he took over the world. Yay! Victor Von Doom's gonna take over the world to save us all! Because that's how it works, right? And then... But you know what? It's a better plot than the other ones, and I actually think this one will actually work better. He comes to the conclusion of that. And then during this time, Reed, Johnny Storm, and Sue start to get accepted and become a little bit of celebrity. With Grimm still being hated. And then they start to get little nicknames given to them by the people. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Thing. And then so Victor flies, and while during this time of all of this, while Victor was doing all that, and then all the people were hating them and giving them names, during this time, we see the bond between the brotherly sister bond between Sue Storm and Johnny. We see the Johnny Storm kind of toying with Ben Grimm, not be a bully, but more tease him. But still be nice to him. You know, tease him, but still a bit nice. We see the friendship of Reed Richards and Ben Grimm, and then we see more of a bond between Richard and Sue Storm. During this time, Richard has been out there for Ben Grimm, and he's been trying to help him. He's been a friend, staying by Ben Grimm's side, not running away, or you know, being just not running away, leaving him. He's been by his side. He's been there, but he's been trying to protect him. He's been standing up for Ben Grimm. And then Victor Von Doom flies to America. Flies to America, land of the free. Wow, you guys got to hear my horrible voice. Isn't it horribly amazing? It's horrible. Give it a thumbs up. So he flies to America, and then because of that bond that Reed and Victor used to have, Victor goes to Reed and tells Reed what's going on and how he came to the conclusion that he must take over the world in order to save it. Reed goes, "You're crazy. I'm not going to help you. I'm just freedom and all this stuff. This is America. We represent freedom, not dictatorship at your Latveria." Of course, Reed doesn't exactly know about that yet, so he can't say that. But movies. We can fill in the dialogue later. But this is just the main storyline. And then if this video gets popular, I can do my own, do the dialogue, interactions, and all that stuff. And I can redo this video and do all that once I get popular enough and actually have equipment instead of my phone and guy dropping his phone over there. And then I can be more focused, and it's actually focused on making the film better. But they come, they bicker, and then they end up going on into a fight, yelling at each other in the streets of New York, or New York, where they're at, right? Yeah. Okay. And then there they, they're fighting, but of course, Victor, with more experience with his abilities, because he's been doing this since he was a kid, which we can have a Victor Von Doom movie show that. And then he ends up fighting Reed Richards, and he's beating Reed Richards. But then Grimm, the Thing, the Human Torch, and Invisible Woman find out what's going on, and they all go help. They find out Dr. Doom's plan. Dr. Doom tells them that how it's been so successful, with his country, Latveria, and how they love him, and all that good stuff. So he believes he could be a great leader for the world as well, and keep the world from the fate that he's seen in the future, that he got from, building a machine to look into the future. Okay. They fight, they work as a team, we get that awesome fight scenes. Them doing, team combos. And then Victor Von Doom is unable to defeat all four of them. So, Victor Von Doom retreats. He swears he's going to be coming back. He's not going to give up on trying to save this planet. Talks about how inferior we are and how we don't. Now Richard doesn't understand what he's trying to do. How inferior he is, and how superior Victor Von Doom is, and all that stuff. And then he leaves and heads back to Latveria after the awesome fight scenes. And then, you know what? The four, they get celebrated. People love them. They're celebrities now. They just adopted someone who's a dictator trying to take over the world, and they kind of heard the, giant convos because it was, loud. So, yay. People are celebrating. And then, they celebrities. And then they all decide to adopt the name together of Fantastic Four, their team name. And then during this time, we find the fact with they each go to the Baxter building. They each buy their own floor, and they're living in the Baxter building at the end. They're working as a team. They're a team now. They're celebrities. You can end the movie there. The sequel can have the part with where it's even more like the comic books, with Victor Von Doom being jealous of Reed Richards and wanting to prove his superiority over him, with Reed Richards being declared the smartest man alive, with Sue Storm dating Reed Richards, with their everything else. The Baxter Building looking a bit more like it's supposed to, because they aren't going to have it exactly like that at the end, because they just kind of each bought their own floor, so they only have 4 floors. Because fantastic. Ooh, low battery, 20%. Okay, I better hurry this along, or I can now. It shows. No, if I get more popular, I can redo this video and get into more detail. But honestly, I think this is the basis for an actually good film, a good Fantastic Four movie. I can go into more detail on how they should do dialogue and all that stuff once I get more popular, and get more subscribers, and I get the equipment to do all that, because I kind of don't have the equipment. I just have this phone. Well, I can still do it with my phone, but I'm gonna wait till I get more equipment, and then I can get more into details. That's the basis for how to make a good Fantastic Four film. I think that would work as a great idea for whoever's going to make the next Fantastic Four film, whoever's going to get the movie rights from Fox, or if Fox is not going to give it away. You know what? If they see this and use my ideas, yay! They're using my ideas. I'm trying to clap, but I'm holding my phone. I would like a cameo in that film. And then you know what? If I get more popular, I will do a more detailed version. I just hope this gives whoever's doing the next film a basic idea of how to make a good Fantastic Four film. Because this really is just a basic idea. Whenever I do more detail, I'm probably not going to do an entire script, just to let you guys know. That would take forever. That would not get done. Actually, I would be able to get it done. I'm writing a book series. I can do a movie script. The basics for how to make a good Fantastic Four movie. I hope whoever's going to make the next one gets a hold of this and to get a few ideas, because I honestly think this will make a good one. Bye. Sure, Mania Lord and Sunday. Now, bye.